This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 560 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by ECOGOLD, leader in equestrian textile engineering. Hi, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is from Dr. Wendy Ying. Dr. Ying is a successful four-in-hand competitive driver and co-host of the driving radio show here on the Horse Radio Network. Additionally, she is a doctor of veterinary medicine that also practices traditional Chinese medicine. Today's tip: when teeth go bad, the back can't be far behind. But first, a word from today's sponsor, ECOGOLD. ECOGOLD uses the latest developments in textile technology plus smart design to make the most advanced saddle pads and protective boots available, because ECOGOLD doesn't have a one-type-fits-all mentality. Their textile engineering team looks at different issues affecting sport horses' comfort and performance and comes up with the best materials and design for each saddle pad and boot. Improve your horse's comfort with ECOGOLD. Ask for ECOGOLD saddle pads and protective boots by name at your local tack supplier or visit them online at ecogold.ca. Now, enjoy today's tip.
Our Chinese medicine update is going to be a little case study, and it's a common scenario that I see in my practice. And basically, this is a pony that has been off for about a year, and like the kid outgrew the pony, whatever, and never really had a lot of dentistry work. And so these new people have the pony, and they wanted me to go over it before they start really working it, because it has a little bit of an issue in the hind end. So before they bought it, they vetted it, and his joints all look good, but it still is a little bit funny behind. So basically, I looked at it today, and actually I looked at it a month ago, but it has really bad teeth, basically. Even its incisors were not straight together, so it's slanted. So because it hadn't had dentistry work probably in 5 or 6 years, its teeth had gotten to the point that it couldn't chew normally. So then it caused a lot of pain in the temporomandibular joint. Then it makes her kind of carry her neck funny, and then that affects her spine and her body all the way down. And it's manifesting in a hind end issue. So what the people notice is this hind end issue, but how it really started was from bad teeth from a couple years ago. Sure. But since it's a pony, they're probably psyched. Look, we can leave this pony out on grass and it never gets fat.
Right.
Right. And why don't we need a muzzle on this pony? Well, because it's having trouble eating, but because it's not super skinny and haven't been riding it, they don't realize it has this tooth issue. So, in this kind of case, I wouldn't even do any kind of body work on it until I fix his teeth, or unless their regular vet fix their teeth. And this is an extensive dentistry problem. So if this would happen to your horse, you'd want to get someone that's a vet, that's a specialist in teeth. And the reason also you'd want to get a veterinarian is that this horse definitely needs to be sedated to have his teeth worked on, because you're going to be in there a long time. And also his temporomandibular joint is now kind of messed up. So you want them to be sedated so they relax that, because you have to open their mouth with the speculum. You've seen that before, Glenn, right? Yes, that big metal speculum.
Yep.
So you can just imagine, if you're not sedated, the horse would be chomping on that really tight, and that makes the jaw pain that much worse. And also with a horse with teeth this bad, you never know what exactly is going on in there. Could they have a fracture or something like that? So that's why it's always best to get a veterinarian to look at it. So basically, I fix his teeth, and this is an ongoing process. Sometimes you can't fix it all at one go because, like, if I had to do too much aggressive floating, it sometimes makes it so they have trouble chewing afterwards. So I can't take down too much tooth, or else its teeth won't be touching. They won't have any grinding surface. So this is they're going to have to see me every 6 months or so. And even if they can afford it every 3 months for the next year to gradually change this bite. But then after I did the initial floating, then I can start working on the chiropractic and acupuncture body work to fix that.
Right.
So, yeah, but like I said, you wouldn't want to start doing the body work first because you know that the problem is the teeth. They're always chewing like that or holding their head funny.
Teeth can cause that, we sometimes underestimate the amount of damage that bad teeth can cause to the rest of the body.
Yeah, and I mean, with horses, their teeth continually grow. So they keep their teeth level by chewing properly. So if something messes up their bite, then that their chew abnormally, then that screws up the wear of their teeth. And that is like a horrible, vicious cycle that can just throw their teeth out of the whack to the point where they can lose teeth. They can have too much pressure on one area. They can crack teeth. And cracked teeth lead to infection, which, then they may need to have their teeth pulled out. It can infect their the bones that the teeth sit in. So that can set that up for, that's what I'm saying. Like, you want sedation, because what if this has a horrible tooth root abscess in its mandible, and then you open up the mouth with the speculum, and especially a pony, like, you have to put their mouth pretty wide to get your arm in. So they have to be like at the range of the limit for opening their mouth. And if they have a compromised mandible, you could break that. You could fracture that. Which then you're in for, big issue. So, and also I think if in people, they are really prone to migraines when they have temporomandibular joint pain. And you can imagine, like, if you've ever had a toothache, how that affects your whole body. Like, you kind of scrunch your shoulders, and, chronic pain affects people's demeanor. And also, horses can't tell us when they have a headache. They just, you might just think they're not themselves or they're crabby, but maybe they have a constant headache.
And you're right. Tooth pain is one of the worst. It just seems to be totally debilitating. When we have it, you can't think, you can't function, just hurts. It
just hurts. Yeah.
I think it's different than when you break your foot or something. It just seems to be, it's closer to your head, it's closer to your heart, and it just hurts. It's just. It
does. Yeah. It just hurts, and it makes you in a really bad mood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and like I said, it makes you carry your body funny. So you can imagine if you're carrying your own body funny, then you someone slaps a bit in your mouth and tells you to go do this, and then you're like, forget it, I'm not doing it.
Now you, so it's interesting because they didn't have you out originally to look at the teeth. They had you out for another problem, and that's where you ended up. Yeah,
they had me out because she was uneven in her hind end.
Interesting. But then that's why you.
But then I always go to the teeth.
Right, and that's why you do the exams the way you do. You do the whole when you're out for the first time with the horse.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, and when I had my specialty dentistry practice, I didn't do a ton of acupuncture. I didn't do any chiropractic then, but so I would be called out specifically for teeth. But also, since we get a lot of, and then people would give me the feedback that, hey, you know what, you did that, and then this went away. Or we have a lot of young horses that come in for training, and I just do all their teeth first. We don't even start them until they get their teeth done. Right. Because there's no sense doing them if they have bad teeth. They're not going to learn properly.
All right, so check the teeth. The moral of that
story. Check the teeth.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Wendy and Glenn the Geek. To listen to all of Wendy's tips, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the Experts drop-down menu on the left. You can also go to her website, 5elementsforanimals.com. Use the digits, don't spell it out. 5elementsforanimals.com. If you just can't get enough of Wendy and Glenn, you can listen to them every week on the Driving Radio Show. Just go to drivingradioshow.com. And don't forget to support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. Today's sponsor has been EcoGold. Ask for EcoGold saddle pads and protective boots by name at your local tack supplier. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like us to cover on the show. You can subscribe to all of the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.